Okay, everybody. Hey, what's up? This is Gabriel. I wanted to give you another demo today. And today we are going to be talking about the Stori Structured Prompt. So, one of the things I've discovered while doing prompt engineering seems obvious, how incredibly important the prompt and the prompt structure are. And you can really, 10x your output by having a properly structured prompt. And so for Stori, we wanted to create, even though it will still support natural language, we wanted a structured prompt which could really help people leverage all the full capabilities of Stori. So here we now have this structured prompt, and you can think of it as musical score notation for the age of AI. It's as precise as you need and as expressive as a maestro's imagination. So here you can basically in YAML format describe arrangement, where in time, harmony, what chords and voicings, melody, contour, register, phrase, structure, rhythm, dynamics, orchestration, effects, expression, texture, form. It's really incredibly expressive, and I want to give you a demo of it right now. So if we jump on over to Stori and just create a new track, call it whatever, call it demo, and then open up the composer, and then I want to jump on over to my notes, and here is an example of a structured Stori prompt. And you can see it's just YAML format. It's got this string at the top, which allows our backend to detect that this is a formal Stori prompt. And then below that, you can see mode, compose, section intro, position at 0, style lo-fi jazz, key C minor, tempo 72, roll, pads and piano, constraint, 4 bars, density very sparse, vibe, dreamy ×3, suspended, melancholic ×2, request, floating intro, just pads and a single piano voice, one note at a time, like walking to an empty room that used to mean something. Harmony, progression, C major, major 7, A flat major 9, E flat major 7, B flat 7 sustained 4, voicing, open widely spaced, avoid anything below C3. And so you can even, here's the melody, here's the orchestration, single notes only, no chords in the right hand. For the piano, pedaling, full pedal throughout, let harmonics blur, velocity. Here's the pad, texture, slow attack, 3 to 4 seconds, very long sustain. Here's the effects, so on the piano, put reverb, type large hall, decay, 4.5 seconds, pre-delay, wet, tape, slight flutter, subtle warble. We have expression, etc. So here you can get a sense of what a Stori prompt really looks like. Let me see if I can copy the whole thing here. A little bit further. Okay. And so now we're going to go over to Stori and just paste that into the composer, or I'm sorry, now it's called the Maestro. We're rebranding this to Maestro. And so here you can see I pasted it in, and now it's reasoning, and we're using Claude Sonnet 4.6. So it says, let me analyze the request carefully. Style, lo-fi jazz, floating intro, key, C minor, tempo, 72 beats per minute, intro, 4 bars, tracks, pads and piano only, density very sparse, harmony progression, 1 chord per bar, 4 beats each. It shows each of the bars, C minor, major 7th, and it shows the notes in it, A flat major 9, E flat major 7, B flat 7 sustained 4, voicing, open widely spaced, pads, wide register, piano, melody, single notes only. Now I'm mapping out the available pitches for the melody, working in the G5 to C6 range with C natural minor. I have G5, A flat 5, B flat 5, and C6 as my core notes, plus A5 and B5 as chromatic passing tones to work with. For the structure, I'm planning 3 descending phrases that each start a step lower than the previous one, with sparse pacing, just 1 or 2 notes per bar spread across 2 to 3 beats. Actually, 3 descending phrases each, starting a step lower than the last. Let me reconsider. So now it's thinking about how to do this. Let me be more generous with notes, but still sparse, 1 every 2 to 3 beats. Phase 1, phrase 2, phrase 3, bar 4. Now I need to work on the pad track with open voicings, keeping everything above C3 to avoid muddiness. For the C minor major 7 chord, I'm exploring different voicings, starting from C3 as the lowest note and spacing the notes widely across the register. I'm checking that C3, MIDI 48, is the boundary and that nothing goes below it. Now I'm working through the other chords in the progression. A flat major 9 with notes spread from C3 up through the higher octaves. E flat major 7 starting from E flat 3. Okay, so it reasoned for 106 seconds and then returned. Here's my plan. I'll set the scene with 2 tracks, a wide slow attack intro pads and an intimate intro piano, 4 bars, open voicings, nothing below C3. A 3-phrase descending melody that trails off into silence in bar 4, then hall reverb and chorus for that blurred late night haze. So step 1, tempo and key. Set tempo to 72 beats per minute. It did that, you can see that here. Set key to C minor. It did that, you can see that here. So now it's reasoning again. Let me create the tracks for this lo-fi jazz intro. I need 1, pads track, 2, piano track. Let me create both tracks simultaneously, then add regions and notes. For the harmony, bars 1, beats 0 through 4, and then it has the chords again. C minor major 7, C, E flat, G. So it thought there and it came back. Let me build this out fully. I'll create both tracks simultaneously, then wire each one up with a region and notes. So it created intro pads with the sweep, and it created intro piano with the grand piano. And if I open up the mixer, we can see that on track 1, it did in fact give it the pad sweep MIDI voicing, and then on the piano track, it gave it the acoustic grand piano general MIDI voicing. So that is correct as well. So now it's reasoning again. Let me create regions for both tracks and add notes. I'll do both region creation calls first, then add notes to each. Actually, since I need the region IDs to add the notes, I'll need to create each region first, then add notes. But I can create both regions simultaneously, then add notes to both regions, to both simultaneously. Let me plan the musical content. And so it's back in thinking about the chords. Okay, so now just returned. I'll create both regions simultaneously, then add notes to both at once. So it just added 4 beats or 4 bars of a region to this one. It added 4-bar region to the intro piano. So boom, it's thinking again. The regions have been created. Now I need to add notes to both regions. Let me add both at once. Pads, 4 bars, 1 chord per bar held. Progression, and then it's got the chords again. C minor major 7, A flat major 9, E flat major 7, B flat 7 sus 4. Voicings, open, widely spaced, nothing below C3. Each chord held for 4 beats. And then it's going on. Now I'm planning out the pad sustain more carefully. Each chord note should start on the bar's beat and hold for nearly the full measure, about 3.9 beats, so they overlap smoothly in the next chord. Let me map this out. Boom, so it just did that. Wrote the notes, MIDI notes. Down here it's saying set up. This is the final response. Set up 72 beats per minute, C minor. Created 2 tracks, intro pads and intro piano. Added 2 regions, 23 notes. Done. So now we can play it and see what it created. Okay, so that is just a brief demo of Stori Structured Prompts. We think this is going to allow people to really unlock all of the potential of Stori and create absolutely amazing music. So we'll check in soon. Peace.